Good afternoon to everyone. We are Soledad Quintanilla and Gloria Gonzalez, and we would like to talk to you today about some of our findings in a study we did on variations in English pronunciation.
English is spoken as an official language in many countries around the world, but it has its variations depending on the region. Even in the same country, there may be variations. The language has adopted many words from other languages, especially from Latin and French, that led to what we know as modern English.
One of the factors related to the varieties of English pronunciation is connected to the users. The main aspects which influence these variants within the use of a language are the regional and the social factors. The regional variations are connected to the geographical area in which that language is spoken. There are some variants which could be found among the territory of the United Kingdom, such as the British, the Scottish, or the Irish English, and some other variants spread outside the British Isles, like the example found in America, New Zealand, or Australia, to mention just some of them. Meanwhile, the social variation of the language refers to the factors included in the affiliation of individuals to social groups, for example, age, gender, ethnic group, or educational background could lay the foundation for any specific variety of a language. Moreover, the variations of the English language are not only distinguished by those regional or social factors, but also by its pronunciation. American, British, or Australian Englishes are some of those examples, and we'll see them now. The variations among the different types of English are several. However, pronunciation, accent, stress, and intonation are the most notorious. Pronunciation is the way how a word or a language is spoken, or the manner in which someone utters a word. As we said, a word can be spoken in different ways by diverse individuals or groups, depending on several factors. For instance, each region which speaks English has its own accent, which means having their own rules, sounds, and intonations.
The differences between accents are of two main sorts, phonetics and phonological. When two accents differ from each other only phonetically, we find the same set of phonemes in both accents, but some or all of the phonemes are realized differently. As in British, they say butter, in American and Australian, butter. See the difference? Another example, teacher. In British and Australian, they say teacher. In American, teacher. We can also find differences in stress and intonation, as Peter Roach put as an example between Australian English and the BBC pronunciation. The difference in accent is easily recognizable. Let's see some example of stress. British and Australian. We have the word adult and address. You see the difference? The stress is in the second syllable. In American, it's different. You say adult or address. The same happens with intonation. Let's see an example. In British and Australian, the intonation goes down in questions. Do you like ice cream? But in American, do you like ice cream? Can you hear the difference?
So today we've tried to show you that although you may think the different type of English in the world are the same, there are quite a few differences among them, being pronunciation the most obvious one. In conclusion, if we want to recognize and use English as a second language, the development of pronunciation skills, as well as the strategies to avoid communication breakdowns, should always be taken into consideration. Well, thanks for listening, and if you have any questions, be our guests.